Hi everyone, Laura K. Buzz here. I catch way too many species of shiny Pokemon, and I'm here today to teach you how to catch shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl using something called radar chaining. Now, there's a lot of misinformation about how this works. It's a mechanic that was in the original Gen 4 Pokemon games, and it kind of works the same here, except a little different, and also there's a bunch of misinformation, so let me teach you how to do it. Now, we're doing a shiny radar hunt from scratch here. I cannot guarantee while I'm recording this I will find a shiny, but I can show you how to do it, and if you persist with this method you will find one, like that lovely shiny Chingling behind me, because, you know, we're gonna do this, we got the method. Now, first thing you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to complete the story of the game, and you're gonna have to see all 151 Pokemon in the Sinnoh Dex. You do not have to catch them all, you just have to have seen them. You go talk to the professor back in the starting town where he gave you the Pokedex. He's going to give you this little item on the left of my quick register bar. It's called the Pokeradar. Now, for convenience, you may also... Professor Oak will be there. Professor Oak will go tell you to meet him somewhere. If you do, you get this little Poketech app, which keeps track of how many times in a row you've bumped into a certain Pokemon. That's going to be real useful. Once you have both of those, go find a big patch of grass somewhere, and this is how you shiny hunt. Now, one thing I will say about your little quick select menu, I would recommend making sure you do not have the bicycle or the thing that makes you go into the underground on your quick select menu, because if you accidentally use either of those, you're going to break this whole thing we're about to do. So, can I use the radar? No. It requires 50 steps between each use, so we're going to run around in circles. You might notice I'm not running into any wild Pokemon. That's because I have a max repel on. I have like 90 of them in my bag. I suggest you do the same, because we need to encounter the same Pokemon many times in a row, and if you don't have a high-level Pokemon in your first slot and repels on, random encounters are going to mess that up. So, that would be the repels, funnily enough. Do you want to keep using them? So, we've already done our 50 steps, we activate the radar, you're going to see a bunch of patches of grass appearing. Now, for this first one, I don't think it makes a difference which patch of grass you go for, but I'm going to suggest getting into the habit of only ever going for patches of grass that are at least 4 away from you in any given direction, because that's going to be important in a minute. So, for example, you see that patch of grass down in the bottom left? That's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows down, so it qualifies on that regard, but it's also 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left of where I started. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for something that's 4 away from you, either in terms of columns or rows. Now, I've got my shiny Chingling already. I'm gonna cut back in when I have found the Pokemon I want to shiny hunt, which is Medidite. I believe it's the only thing left in this patch of grass I don't have a shiny of, so, you know, for now, we're gonna run away. You don't want to... How do I put this? Whatever Pokemon you start doing this with, that's the one you're committing to shiny hunting. Don't feel like you have to commit to whatever the first thing you see is. You can just run around. That's probably 50 steps. More patches of grass. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that was 4 columns down. That's 4 away on an axis. That's the sort of place we want to be going for, and I will explain why in a moment. I'll be right back when I found a Medidite. So, I've come back having found a Medidite. Now, this is the thing I want to shiny hunt. Took me a couple of minutes because it's not a common spawn on this route, but we found one. So, what we are trying to do is catch or interact with 40 Medidites in a row, and each time what we're wanting to see is a bunch more patches of grass show up, and there's a couple of things we can do to maximize our odds of making this chain continue, because if we can get to a chain of 40 of these, we can get the shiny odds for this Pokemon down to 1 in 99, which is amazing, but it's going to require some luck. So, we could knock this Medidite out, and in perfect conditions, knocking out this Medidite would give us an 83% chance of continuing. You get a 93% chance if you catch it. So, We're going to use a quick ball because on turn 1, catch rate's real good. In an area with this lower set of levels, we're practically guaranteed to catch, which is great. Repeat balls are also good in case it breaks out a quick ball on turn 1. By turn 2, repeat ball is basically your best option. So, you're probably going to notice when you see this footage, I skipped over the first encounter because I flubbed some lines. But, right, so we did our catch in perfect conditions. There is a 93% chance that when we get out of this screen, there is going to be more patches of grass. Yes, that little ding sound we heard, that's an audio indicator that you've done it right. Now, I said in perfect conditions, catching the Pokemon gives you a 93% chance of these grass patches appearing. It's 93% if you catch the Pokemon you're chaining, and if you encounter it 4 rows or 4 columns away. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't have to be both 4 rows and 4 columns away, but if I can do that, I like to. So, it's always going to be another Meditite that you encounter, but because we encountered the Meditite that was 4 rows or 4 columns away, and we're going to catch it, there is a 93% chance that after we catch this Meditite, there will be more patches of grass. Like, this is what we're trying to do. We are trying to give ourselves the best odds possible so that when we go our 4 rows or 4 columns away, we do our catch, hopefully, hooray, more patches of grass. If you look up in the top right, that little radar app I have from Professor Oak tells me I'm currently on a chain of 3 Meditites. I want to talk about how the stats work here for getting shinies. A chain of between 1 and 35 doesn't hugely impact your shiny odds. It'll improve them a little bit, but not by a huge amount. It's between 36 and 40 that the odds go from like 1 in 1,000 to like 1 in 99. So we're gonna roll a 93% set of odds a bunch of times and hope that we can find a shiny along the way. So let me repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 rows away. That's a good one to pick. I would recommend not picking grass that is backed up against walls where you are likely to have problems getting around grass near you. What I mean by that is, 4 patches of grass are ideally going to spawn. If your back is against a wall and to your left, right, and in front of you are rustling patches of grass, and a 4th one is 4 rows away, but it's past them, you're not going to be able to get to it, you're going to be in trouble, you're going to have to take an encounter that will have worse odds of continuing the chain. It's not guaranteed to be broken, but the odds are going to be worse. Here we go. Catch another Meditite. Do a little shake. Now, I'm going to try and show you what I mean about, like, bad locations to pick a piece of grass and what you can do about them if your only one that's 4 away is in a bad spot. We'll show you how to deal with that. So, there we go. Let me work out where we want to go. Okay. I'm going to go for that one up the top left. It's at least 4 rows or columns away, but it's, yeah, let me show you here. Let's say that this was where I'm stood now, was our only 4 distance away patch of grass, and we were surrounded on all sides by rustling grass. We couldn't get further out to get to the one that's 4 away from us after this. If you've walked, let's say, 50 steps to have your radar ready to recharge, I can show you. We'll walk around a bit. Because, like, if your only good spot is up against a wall, you can deliberately walk back and forth a bit, charge your radar, and go, let's use the radar again. There we go, we have 4 new patches of grass. Having your radar charged is great because it can get you out of tricky situations like that. So now, we're looking for a patch of grass 4 rows or columns away from where we just used the radar. Our chain is still active, that has not broken our chain. Getting on your bike will, leaving the area will break your chain, going into the underground, turning your game off, quitting the game, those will all break your chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Let's go over here. Oh, interacting with trainers. If a trainer picks a fight with you, it'll break your chain as well. So make sure you've defeated any trainers even vaguely near your big patch of grass you've picked. Now, a thing I want to remind people. A lot of people have got the misinformation idea that the way this chain works is the 93% we keep talking about is your chance of running into another Meditite when you go into the grass. And people will sometimes, like, do this catch step, do it correctly, and then nothing spawns, and they'll go, there's no more patches of grass, it broke for no reason. No, it broke because you were in the 7% chance that it would break. Because this is, we did the catch, this is where we do our 93% roll. It's good. Now, 93% chance of more grass appearing sounds like basically a guaranteed certainty, right? Like, 93%? Yeah. On any individual time that you go into a patch of grass, practically guaranteed to progress. But you've got to do 40 of those back to back. And, you know, the numbers have been crunched. Here's the thing. To get 40 of these successful rolls back to back, you got about a 5% chance. Which is about the odds of rolling a critical hit, rolling exactly a 20 on a 20-sided dice on a d20. And for any of you who have played, you know, tabletop role-playing games with a d20, you never roll your 20-sided dice assuming it's going to land on the critical hit. Because if you did, you'd be so disappointed so much of the time. You know that it's a special thing if you get that 1 in 20 chance. That is the rarity of you successfully getting this chain to go off correctly, and as such, I want to really stress up front, most times you try to do this, the chain will not successfully make it the whole way to 40, so 1, 2, 3, 4 rows down, that'll do. You need to get used to the fact that you are more often than not going to put time into this, and it's going to break. And we'll show one of these breaking, probably, because I guarantee this one I've been recording today, probably not going to make it all the way to 40. I doubt this will be the one. And that's the point. Don't get disheartened when it fails. You know, because it's going to do that most of the time. But when it succeeds, it's a beautiful thing. I'm hoping I can get a successful chain tonight so I can show you just why it's so special when you succeed. Because 1 in 99 odds of a shiny is great. 1 in 99 odds of a shiny that you can repeat to get multiple of that shiny, as you can here, is really good. Right, let's continue. So, I'm jumping back in here. Not because the chain's broken or anything like that. I'm jumping in to talk about where I'm at in this chain. I'm currently up to a chain of 13. This is the chain I started doing the tutorial on. Huzzah! Statistically, this is about as deep as into a chain as you're probably going to get to. Now, a lot of people who do this will talk about 13, 14, 15-ish in the chain being cursed numbers that routinely break their chain and stop them making progress, and that there must be something glitched or bugged about them. No. With a 93% chance of the chain continuing, you have a 7% chance of it failing, which is about 1 in 14. So we're gonna do another interaction now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm four columns away, but I made sure I had my thing charged up, so if I get trapped in, I can reset where the pings are. And maybe this one will be fine, but I'm going to show you another encounter here, because I have a gut feeling. Because usually this is about statistically where it's going to fall apart. I've had 13 good rolls in a row, and 1 out of every 14 is usually gonna be bad. And for every run where you do crash dead on 14, there'll be a run where you get like 2 in and it fails, or a run where you get 28 in and you're fine still. People notice 14 because statistically it's somewhere around 14 that a lot of these fall apart. It's how distribution models work. People notice the center point. But we're fine. We've done 14. I think it's 1 in 14.1, so, you know, might be the 15th encounter that it'll pop it. We'll see. If this one is successful, I'm just going to skip ahead to wherever we either find a shiny or the chain breaks. I'll skim ahead to there. There are some things that can appear in the grass, and if one of those comes up, I'll hop back in, but go on, let's give it another go. We're doing alright. 14 or 15, where we're sort of at in the chain right now, may feel a million miles away from 40. We're over a third of the way there. We're over a third of the way to getting, like, a boatload of shiny Pokemon. It's not that insurmountable a hill to climb. You're just going to have a few failed attempts along the way. Come on, let's listen for the little ding. Hooray! I'll get back to you when something changes. I'm back again, everyone. Right now the chain's still going. There is something else I want to talk about, and just as a group we're going to see. Is the chain going to keep going? Cool. We're up to, like, 18 now. So one thing I forgot to mention. Hey, if you're using Joy-Cons, I 100% recommend using the D-pad to move around rather than your analog stick. So much less likely to do a misinput, and so much more likely to correctly count the number of steps you've moved. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. There you go. We're still going. Back in a minute. Hey, I'm back again. Nothing's really changed, but our chain's up to 27, which, as someone who's done this a few times, this is where you start getting, like, I really hope it works, because you're within striking distance of where the shiny odds start getting really good. 36 is where, like, ooh, we're hitting the real numbers. If you can get to 40, perfect. Odds are as good as they're going to get. Now, getting good rolls doesn't make you more likely to get a bad roll in the future. Getting bad rolls doesn't mean your rolls are going to not be good in the future. You're not getting good or bad rolls out the way. It is a completely fresh 93% chance every time. And that's the thing. No matter how many, like, bad runs of this you have where it collapses, like, 5, 6, 10 in, you're going to have runs that go really well. But for every run that ends on, like, 1 or 2, you're going to have a run that gets to, like, 38 and collapses. You just have to be okay with that knowledge going in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Weirdly, I've not seen there's another type of grass that I would have expected to come up by now. It's completely randomly occurring. But I'm hoping I can show you off before this chain breaks. So, yeah, I thought I'd duck back in here, because this is a pretty... Don't expect to get to 27, 28, like this sort of range on your first attempt at one of these chains. You're probably going to have some bad chains before you have a good one. But it's just... This is the tension you start listening for. This is why I listen for the little ding. I want to know as soon as possible. Yeah. Oh! Oh! We're going to get a shiny Pokemon! You see that sparkly patch of grass there? That's a shiny Pokemon! Now, we're only 28 deep into the chain. As I said, from the start of your chain, your odds of a shiny Pokemon do increase. Now, where we're at 28 in the chain, I'm trying to remember the numbers off the top of my head. We're somewhere in the range of, like, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 1,500-ish. I might be a little off on that, but, like, we're definitely not in the 1 in 99 odds that you get when you get your chain up to 40. But, is that... all I will say is we're going to go get that shiny. The chances are it might well break our chain because it's 1, 2, 3 columns down, 3 rows down and 2 columns across. We're not gonna... It's not gonna guaranteed break our chain, but our odds of the chain continuing are not gonna be 93%. I can't remember what they are for 3 rows away. I'll be right back. I'm gonna check those odds so that I can inform you. I like that it makes it clear, though, that it's gonna be a shiny Pokemon. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I looked up some statistics, and as I understand it, the chances of our chain continuing are about 83%. And I really hope it does, because, like, the odds right now of us having a shiny Pokemon, like... The reason why we want to get to 40, and I want to make this clear, is once you reach that point, your shiny odds will just keep will plateau. It'll be 1 in 99. What you can do then is run left and right, back and forth, just run around, reuse your shiny thing, your radar, get new patches of grass until there is a shiny patch 4 away from you. Like, you can manipulate with enough time to get the best possible odds of, like, a shiny that's in the right position that it will probably continue your chain, so you can get multiple shinies in a row. But screw it, I'm not going to turn down a shiny Pokemon. For context, this video, I've been sat here recording for about 35 minutes. Granted, I'm doing this slower than I usually would because I'm multitasking for video recording. But yeah, took us 35 minutes and a single attempt to find a shiny. Now, you're not going to be that lucky every time. My Chingling shiny hunt, I spent like 4 hours of total time across a couple of sessions doing radar hunts before I found one. But heck yeah, we've got an 83% chance this chain might keep going. Which would be great, because then more shiny Metadites, we can trade them with people, we'll have them for backups and whatnot. Come on. This is the moment. The reason why it's so good to get to 40 is that you can catch duplicates, but... Come on. Come on. 83%'s pretty good. And the chain's still going! Huzzah! Look at that! So, we're up to a chain of 29. If we can keep that chain... Our odds were a little lower there because we went only 3, rows or columns away from where we started. But if we go 4 away again... 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, use another repel. 3, 4... Another Metadite. If we catch this one, we're back up to having 93% odds of more grass. So... I'll come back when either the chain breaks or we get more shinies or up to 40, and we'll see how this goes. I've been trying to do one of these on stream successfully several nights this week, unsuccessfully. Today, off stream, but recording offline multiple times, I've managed to pull it off. Also, I'm gonna switch. I'm back. I'm gonna switch to repeat balls if the chain's still going, because I forgot to stock up on more quick balls before I started this shiny hunt, because I'm silly and was thinking about content creation and not actually doing the shiny hunt. But I'll save the quick balls for if shinies pop up, I guess. We're up to a chain of 31. We've not yet encountered the other kind of grass I was going to show you. I'm just going to tell you, because who knows if we'll see it. Sometimes you'll see much bigger leaves coming out of one of these piles. That means the Pokemon in there's got a hidden ability. It'll definitely have the hidden ability. They're usually pretty common. The fact we've made it 30 deep in a chain and haven't seen one is kind of hilarious. Also, sometimes you'll see, and we've not seen it happen in this chain, the camera zoom in on the trainer first before it zooms in on the Pokemon. That means that the Pokemon has at least 2 guaranteed max IVs. The further you get up this chain, the better your IVs get, up to, I think, once you go over a chain of 100, which, don't aim for that. Don't assume it's going to happen. It's so unlikely. You get 5 guaranteed max IVs if you get one of those animations play. Come on, please tell me I can get all the way to 40 on my sitting down to record a tutorial of how to do this, because I promise you, if I do, it's pure luck. I've been doing days and hours of shiny hunting and not having this luck. You are seeing a very good representation of what happens when it's going well. So, fun fact, all day today I've been trying to get footage without my silly mug in the corner for a different video I've been doing of me doing this successfully. No luck. It's happening now my face is on camera and I can't really use it for the other video I was going to use it for, but... Okay. Cool, still going. Still no other patch of grass to show off and no hidden special IV or hidden ability. 1, 2, 3, 4. So sometimes when you're doing this, like I did earlier today, you will find a shiny sometimes that doesn't have sparkling grass. If that happens, it's not because doing the chain got you elevated odds. That is just a random full odds 1 in 4096 shiny that you stumbled upon accidentally while doing this method. If you got the shiny because of the elevated odds of the chain, the grass will sparkle. That is my understanding. If you get a shiny without sparkly grass while doing this method, you just lucked out. That is sometimes just a thing. I mean, you see it more often if you're in a position like mine where you're doing a lot of catching the same Pokemon over and over, but like, it's nice when it happens. Okay. We're still going. We're really getting towards that good shiny odds territory. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 columns away. 3 rows. Okay. So we're up to a chain of 35. This is where stuff starts getting good. Right now, our odds of a shiny Pokemon showing up are about 1 in 300. That is about 10 times better than the shiny odds when we started. Between here and 40 over these next 5, if we can keep the chain going, our odds are gonna basically triple from what they are right now, up to 1 in 99. This is where the shiny odds get good, and we've lucked out. Right now, this is about the statistical likelihood of me rolling a 20 on a 20-sided dice. It's getting this many successes in a row ain't gonna happen every time, but this is what you're looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yeah, that'll do. We've still not come across the big grass or the zoom in on the trainer, and I'm honestly kind of surprised by that. But yeah, we've already caught a shiny, and we are getting kind of close to maybe getting multiples of the same Pokemon. Less than an hour this shiny hunt has taken. And that's pretty good going. There are very few shiny hunting methods in any of the Pokemon games that, when successful, are this quick. And... oh, it's lovely. It's... oh... You're seeing me at my most excited here. You're seeing what this is what I live for, shiny hunting wise. I love doing these shiny hunts. Come on. Okay, cool. We got the sound again. We're up to 36. Oh, the odds are in our favour. 4. I guess that's 4 columns. It's gonna be heartbreaking if the chain breaks here. And that's something you have to be ready for. I've had this happen. It sucks if it does. Because sometimes you do everything right. And like, this is no more or less likely to break here than it was at 13 or 14 that we were talking about earlier. But it feels so much more likely, and it feels so much worse if it happens. Because, like, I've only got to catch, like, 4 more to get those full odds. I've had most of my chains make it to a chain of 4. That's pretty alright. Like, if this were a fresh chain starting now, and I was just told you just got to get 4 successes in a row, I'd go, oh, that's easy, of course I'm going to get that. But statistics is a fickle mistress. Okay, we're still going. We're still going. 37. Oh, this might be the one. 3, 4. And again, your chain could break as early as the first time you try and throw. I was gonna make this, like, I was gonna edit this down and make it a very short video. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, considering how well this run has gone, I kind of want to show quite a lot of it. And it's going to be longer than a lot of the shiny chaining, brilliant diamond shining pearl videos out there. It's going to be more of a, let's play along with a shiny hunt. But I feel like that's what it's become now, and... Come on, just... For me, video game. Give me this little win. We're so close. Okay. 38. That's very good. I only need to get, like, one more catch after this if the chain hasn't broken. Oh, I might get to show you off, like, the end point of this. Oh, it's gonna be so gutting if the chain breaks here. But I think I am conveying to you the tension of what... This is why I love this shiny hunting method. Every time you catch a Pokemon, you've got this little ding to listen out for, and it's probably gonna be there. You just have to hope that the probably holds out for like an hour. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. If the chain doesn't break here, I can show you multiple shiny catches. And I can show you why this method is so good if we just keep the chain going. One more. And I repeat, I've not done anything special to make this one work. I rolled a 20 on a d20. Statistically, that's what I did here. I lucked out, assuming that this one works. But that's basically the kind of luck I've had today. Like, watching someone in Dungeons & Dragons roll a crit wouldn't make you think that rolling a crit was super easy and that you're going to do it every time, but... Okay, cool. We're at a chain of 40. I can show you how to catch multiple shiny Pokemon. So, let's very carefully walk away from the grass. What I want to do is stay in sight of the grass, but walk around until I can set off my radar. Let's get 4 new patches of grass. None of them are shiny. That's fine. I can walk up and down safely without touching any of the patches. So I'm going to do that. We're going to walk up and down 50 steps until our radar is usable again. This is a time to be super careful you don't accidentally touch the grass, because all you're doing if you touch that grass is you are risking the chain breaking. You're rolling that 93% odds again unnecessarily. So we're going to keep rolling, and thankfully we found a shiny earlier in the run, which means you know what we're looking for. We're looking for that sparkly gold bit of grass. Now, again, statistically, chances are we're probably going to have to refresh the radar like 25 times, because it's 1 in 99, which is basically 1 in 100, and we're getting 4 new patches of grass every time we do the radar. Keep that repel up, because if we accidentally stumble into a random encounter, we could lose everything. Roll the radar. Still no shiny, so we're going to walk up and down, because we can safely walk up and down. Be careful to make sure you are walking in a route that is safe for you to walk. What I should really be doing, probably, is walking around at the bottom of this in the empty space, but I'm doing my thing. 2 more steps. 1, 2. No shiny grass, so what I'm going to do is move over here where I can walk up and down safely. And this is the step. I'm just going to show you this in full, because you've got to have patience for this. It's going to take you a second. You cannot walk as quickly while using the D-pad as you do while using the analog stick, but don't risk it. Just use your D-pad. Safely walk on an axis that doesn't have any of the patches of grass. We've somehow still not seen a hidden ability grass, but we'll see. We'll get one eventually, I'm sure. Maybe I'll skip forward, but you get the gist. This is what you do when you have a chain of 40. Because there is as long as you don't touch those patches of grass, there's nothing that can break your chain. If you reach this point, you are guaranteed at least 1 shiny, as long as you don't screw it up. Hopefully more if you are successful, like if your roll of whatever percent is successful when you catch that shiny, we might be able to keep going and repeat this step. But let's go. 16 more steps, come on. But yeah, if you reach a chain of 40, you can guaranteed get at least 1 shiny Pokemon. Hopefully multiple. Okay, there's 3 up there, 1 down there, still no shiny, so we're just going to keep moving. I would be careful of that bridge. I don't know for certain if crossing that bridge constitutes leaving the area or not, but I wouldn't chance it. Still no shiny grass. So we're gonna walk up and down. Again, 1 in 100 odds. Incredibly good odds for shiny hunting. It's still not gonna be instant. I would estimate maybe 10-15 minutes at worst. It'll take you to find a shiny Pokemon doing it in this method. That's a very worst case scenario. It shouldn't take you nearly that long. Still no big. Still no hidden ability grass. But we got this. We've got our chain of 40. You can't stop us now, video game. We're gonna get more shiny Pokemon in 21 steps. Still no shiny patches. Reminder to myself, if I skip ahead, check how far I skipped ahead. How long did this segment of the shiny hunt take me in the end? Oh, there we go. Okay. So, this took me maybe a few minutes. If I skipped ahead, I didn't skip ahead by much. Fun fact, like 30 seconds before this, I was like, oh, if I skip ahead. So, how far away is that shiny patch? So make sure to not walk over the other patches on the way. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's 4 rows up from where I started. So we're going to have a 93% chance of the shiny, of the chain staying. So, second shiny Medidate. First one was like before we got to 40, but here's our second. And this is why I love Pokeradar chaining. 19 out of 20 times, it's gonna break. Long before you get to 40. But if you get to 40, multiple shiny Pokemon. And look, Medidate, not so much of a problem. But let's say you were shiny hunting Eevee, and you wanted enough Eevees to have every shiny evolution. Usually, you'd have to do multiple shiny hunts to get multiple shiny Eevees. This method, there's a good chance you could get 2, 3, 4, 5 shiny Eevees in a single Eevee hunt. Like, that's what this is good for, is if you want duplicates for trading, if you want spares to evolve into their other shiny forms. It's great having these options. We're gonna get so many shiny Medanites on this. Oh, come on. Let me get more than this one here. If the chain keeps going, I can show you how easy it is to get multiple of a shiny when you do this. This is why this is one of my favorite shiny hunting methods. There we go, we heard the ding. There's more patches of grass. I was so sure I was going to have to show you what failure looks like so much sooner than this. So yeah, because we had that 93% good chance, chain's still going. Getting to a chain of 41 hasn't made our shiny odds any better, but as long as we have enough repels, which I have like 80, 90 of the max repels with me, we can just re-roll the grass. No shiny, that's fine. Keep walking. Like, it's this easy. Well, if you luck out and get a chain of 40, you might only get one shiny. Statistics work both ways. Most of your chains are going to break by the time you reach, like, statistically about 14. But also that means that, hey, there is every chance that statistically, if you get one shiny, you could get 40. You could pretty easily get 14 good rolls collecting shiny and okay, the odds aren't actually like that because not all of your shinies will spawn 4 spaces away from you, so your odds of catching them will actually like change slightly each time. But like, you know what I mean. Getting like 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 of a shiny Pokemon once you've reached that chain of 40, definitely not impossible. Has happened. I don't know many other shiny hunting methods where getting one shiny can lead to that many duplicates, but it's... Come on, give me that. Give me that shiny. I'm glad there was nothing on that downward point. I'm glad I didn't have my bike on D-pad down, or my go down to the underground on D-pad down. Both of those would have broken the chain. This is why it's really important to be careful what you have on that D-pad select when you are doing this. It's very easy to accidentally press the wrong button and break the chain. Also, don't know if it's accurate, but I've seen some people suggest that having an egg hatch mid-chain will break your chain. Don't have an egg in your party while you're trying to do this. Oh. Come on. I need to show off how many shinies we can get. Again, for context, a little over an hour ago I started this this shiny hunt. And we're already on 2 shinies. We're doing alright. Side note, forgive me for this. I might, next time a shiny patch comes up, I'll still talk to you, everyone, but I might turn my webcam off so that I can get footage of one of these shiny catches with a shiny patch of grass with my face not on screen for use in another video, because, you know, gotta be multitasking. So yeah, for reference and context here, the main thing that might hinder at this point my ability to just endlessly catch shiny Medanites is my number of repels on hand. And I mean, that's gonna last me a while. I think it'll be plenty, but also I'm suddenly like, I wish I had more of them. I'm never gonna regret having more repels of any kind in my bag. Because if we start encountering wild Pokemon because we ran out of repels, that's gonna break this chain real quick. Yeah, as I said, we got that first shiny patch real quick. After hitting the chain of 40. Statistically, we're going to have to do like 25 resets per shiny, which is going to take a hot minute. Go on, 3 steps away. Just let me have my... Yeah. Most of the time, when you do this, there will be no shiny. But the fact that we still have those good odds, and that it could still be so close... duplicates is so plausible with this method. I assumed this was going to fail really fast. I'm going to have to, at some point, go downstairs and be like, hello, wife. I thought this was going to be a very short video where I taught how to do a thing, but failed in demonstrating. And now, oops, an hour and a quarter in, the shinies are occurring. I'm honestly amazed. An hour and a quarter in, we've not had a single hidden ability grass patch that I have noticed. It really is statistically unlikely, just like it was statistically unlikely for me to reach this point in the shiny hunt, right? Finally, an hour and 20 minutes in, haven't found that third shiny yet. You see those really big leaves? That's a really common occurrence when doing this. That's a hidden ability. That's a Medicham that has its hidden ability. We're not going to go for it, because it's not shiny. Fun fact, I don't know for a fact whether you can have a patch of grass be both hidden ability and shiny. Maybe it can, I've not seen it. It feels like that would be a very rare sight to behold, but yeah, you see those really big leaves? I was starting to doubt myself and go, maybe we did see it, it's just not as pronounced as I remember it. Nah, it's... Okay, yeah, there's another big leaf patch. We just had 2 in back-to-back sets of Pokeradars. They're pretty common. We've just had a very baffling hour. It's pretty obvious when you see hidden abilities just sort of floating about. So, what I should probably do at some point to conserve my repels is, if I just didn't use a repel, what I could do, I believe perfectly fine, is very carefully do my 50 steps like over here. I'm going to keep my repel on for now just for my own safety, but I could do my 50 steps over here. Have I done my 50 steps? Do my 50 steps. Stay in sight of the rustling grass just to be safe. Don't leave the root or anything. Yeah. I would far rather stay in the grass. I feel safer doing that. But let's say you've picked a patch of grass where there's a much clearer, like, here is just a straight line along the edge where you can walk, like, the whole length of the board. You can do, like, maybe 10 tiles before changing direction. Then I would walk outside the grass, ... The one thing you have to be really careful about is if you do that, remember to put your repel back on when you see the shiny, and you go, oh, I'll just dip back in to get the shiny grass. Put your repel back on. I would hate to see someone lose their shiny streak over that. As high as 1 in 100 odds of a shiny are, and believe me, as a veteran shiny hunter with 85% of the way to a living shiny national dex, as amazing as these odds are, it can take you a while to find your next shiny one. Because, like, don't get overeager, don't get impatient. It's been maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15, since I found the first shiny. That's nothing. Getting a second shiny within, like, 15 minutes. Those are odds that, like, I don't know if you appreciate how amazing that is. If you haven't been through some of the very grueling shiny hunts that I have done. Fun fact, I'm like 11 months into soft resetting for a shiny Regieleki. Still ain't happened. Statistically, about 50 hours, like 40, 50 hours of soft resetting, I should have found one. Well, I've done a lot more time than that doing those soft resets. But yeah, just be careful, be cautious. There's no reason I can't catch more shiny Metadytes if I am cautious and careful, and I don't run out of max repels. I'm guessing I have like 30 left in my bag, hopefully. If I don't have enough, there's not really much I can do other than scold myself later for not better preparing, but... How many do I have? Let's... Oh, I still have 70. Okay, I don't know what I'm worrying about. I could do this all day. So, one thing I want to reiterate here, and I know that this is kind of unscripted and I'm a little all over the place. I'm saying things as I remember them. Be patient when you get to this stage, because, you know, it might take you, let's say, half an hour for a shiny to show up. That first one we had, well, not the first one. The first one after our 40 chain came up really quickly. There's every chance it could take you, let's say, up to half an hour, as I suspect this one is about to get that second one show up. That first one could have taken half an hour. Be patient, because as you've seen here, I've spent half an hour resetting the grass time and time again. I've not at any point entered a battle since that shiny that risked my chain breaking. If you are patient, like, I am 100% definitely able to get a second shiny here because I'm being patient. I was 100% able to get that first post 40 chain shiny because I was patient. As long as you are patient, that next shiny you are waiting for to show up, there is literally nothing that can stop you eventually getting it. So, I'm continuing to do this shiny hunt here and now, because I'm sat down making a video out of it. Like, you know, I want to get that video done in one go for consistency of setup. You can put your Switch into sleep mode, totally fine, not break the chain. You can save your game. Your position in this chain will not be saved, so if I quit the game entirely or turned my Switch off entirely and reopened it, I wouldn't be at the 41 chain. My shiny odds would be back to normal. But you can put it in sleep mode just fine. So, like, for example, if I weren't making this video, I would probably now pop this in sleep mode, come back to it, you know, next time I have some free time. Because I can just rack these shinies up and there's literally nothing to stop me. But if I want to I want to show the ending of this on stream, and I don't want to deliberately catch not shiny stuff and, like, deliberately break the chain just to show you how the chain breaks. I want to show you how many shinies you can catch if you pull this off. There we go. Another shiny patch. It is 4 rows down and 4 columns across. So the chances are of this continuing are pretty high. I'm gonna turn my webcam off in a second while I go catch this one, just so I can get some footage of that for another video. But, yeah, this one took, like, 35 minutes to find the second one. Patience paid off. I got it. That's how it goes. If you're rolling a 1 out of 100 dice, each roll doesn't get you closer to rolling a 100 every time it's a random start from fresh. And that's why getting 40 good rolls in a row is possible, but it's also why it can take you potentially forever to get what you need. So I'm going to turn my webcam off for a second while I grab this footage. There we go, hooray, another shiny. I'm gonna keep talking. I'm really hoping we can keep this chain rolling. I recognize that this is becoming a longer video than I intended it to be, but also... Gosh, I want to see how high this chain can go now. The excitement is here. This is what I've been working for. Okay, the chain has continued. We're up to 42. We can get another shiny. Now, here's the thing. I'm pretty closed in here. I can thankfully get out. But that's why, you know, in general, I would say don't go for a spot directly in a corner where there's no way to escape. Because I very easily could have ended up there with an inability to get out, and I would have had to do an encounter that wasn't shiny needlessly. Look, when it's a shiny patch has shown up, sometimes you just go, oh, why not? We'll give it a go. We'll take the risk, but you are taking a risk of, oops, I'm trapped by grass on all sides, and there's no way for me to get out, and I didn't remember to charge up my my radar before stepping on it, and now, oops, I broke the chain needlessly. Because right now, we're up to 3 shiny Medadites tonight. An hour and 45 minutes into trying to shiny hunt for this Pokemon. Like, this is that good stuff. There's no other shiny hunting method that has, like, this level of consistency of back-to-back, yet more shiny versions of that Pokemon once you hit that magic number. I'm really hoping we can show off the max IV zoom before we finish this video, because, you know, I hope that some of you have decided to, you know, try playing along with this video, and I hope that your luck has been... Oh, yeah, this has been like 2 minutes since the last shiny, and there's already another one. See? Look at how good this mode is! I'm gonna turn... I'm gonna... Screw it, I got footage of it happening once. I'll leave the camera on. So that's our 3rd since we hit 40 on the chain. 4th in general. We have so many shiny Medadites now. If you followed along with this and caught a shiny Pokemon in duplicate and you're like, I've got more than I need, I want to trade, hit me up, I can trade you one of these shiny Medadites. Because I've got so many of them now. I've got spares for days. Okay, let's find out. Is the chain gonna continue? It's gotta break eventually. There we go. You didn't hear the little ding, and there's no patches of grass. What happened there is we went for a shiny patch. Now, granted, it wasn't... I don't believe it was 4 away columns or rows. I didn't count. I was too excited. There was another shiny there. If you want to be really, really, like, you desperately want multiples, even if you see a shiny patch, if it's not 4 rows or columns away, maybe just reset until the next one and see if the next one's 4 away. For myself, I only needed the one to fill a spot in my living shiny deck, so I went for the closest one I saw. I think it was 2 away. But that's the thing. When anytime you catch a Pokemon from one of these patches of grass, there is, at your best odds, if you go 4 rows or 4 columns away, there is a 7% chance that this will happen. Where you'll go your 4 rows or your 4 columns, you'll catch it, and then there'll just be nothing. No reward for your time. There just isn't a Medadite there. And that is just how it is. But yeah, that's how you do a shiny hunt. I got, what was it, 3 or 4, I think I got 4 shinies in that one run. That took less than 2 hours. It took us about an hour to get up to the chain of 40, and that was like me playing very slowly, multitasking, doing other stuff at the same time. About 45 minutes to catch 4 shiny Medadites once I'd hit, well, okay, yeah, 1 was caught during the chain. Took me maybe 15 minutes each per Medadite if we average it out. Could be quicker, could be slower. That's how you do radar chain shiny hunting in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. I hope that helps.